Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic or property for CSS, that is inline property for margin. Okay, so we will discuss what is margin inline property, why do we use it, what is the syntax or structure that we are supposed to follow in order to implement margin inline property. Along with this, we will also discuss the correlated properties for margin, like Margin-Inline-Start, Margin-Inline-End. So these all things we are going to discuss in this particular session. Okay. But before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to implement margin inline property. Clear? Fine. So I think now we are good to start with the session, and here you can see the code is very simple and straightforward. We have just noted down one title in the head section, and there is one heading showing CSS Cascading Style Sheets by Sharmit. So if I show you the output, it is coming like this. Now what we will do, we will put another heading here just to show the topic name, and topic name is margin inline. Now maybe some of you have watched that session where we discuss about border inline property. So if you know about that thing, then I think it would be very easier for you to understand this one, because somewhere it is related. But if you don't know about that as well, it's completely fine. Why? Because I'll tell you everything from scratch itself. Okay, so what we will do here, we will learn about the margin inline property in CSS. So this is our main agenda for the session. Okay, so it is coming like this. Fine. Now to implement this thing, we need at least 3 div, because I want to show the impact of this thing. So what we will do here, we will create 3 divs with different IDs. So first div ID would be box1, and it is case sensitive, so remember it. Okay, otherwise it won't work if you are trying to use it with some other case. That means if I am writing something with capital B, you should use throughout the program with capital T. Okay, so here we added the div ID, then we will set here box2, then we will add the third div where we will add ID equal box3. Now you can simply save it. So we have added 3 div. Now it's time to apply some CSS property to these div. So what we will do here, we will use internal CSS. But that doesn't mean that you have to always use the internal CSS. You can use any other property, any other approach. Like you want to go with external CSS, that is also fine. If you want to go with a inline CSS, that is also fine. Okay, but for now I'm using internal CSS because I want to show this thing together, both things like HTML code as well as CSS code. So that's why I'm using style attribute here, and here we will apply the basic property. So firstly I'll access the div1. So here I'll write box1, opening and closing curly braces. Here we will set the width, height and all required things. So let's say width is 300 pixel. Then we will set height 150 pixel. Then we will set border 20 pixel solid black. Then we will set background color, which would be aquamarine. Okay, then I think this is fine for now. If we refresh it, it should be box1, not box. Okay, fine. So this is how it looks like. Okay, similarly we will apply same kind of property to different thing, that is box2 and box3. So what you can do here, you can simply copy it and you can paste it like this. Okay, let me copy it again from top. You can copy it, paste it. Fine. So instead of box1, we will make it as box2. Then here we will make it as box3. Okay, now you can simply refresh it, and after a refresh you can see this is how it looks like. So just to show the difference, what we will do here, here in border color we will make it as red. Just refresh it, and similarly for this one we will make the border color as blue. Okay, Perfect. So now if you refresh it, you can see there are 3 divs with different border color. Now one more thing we want to do here, we want to show all these 3 div in a horizontal way. So what we can do for that, we can use float. So just use float left. So what it will do, it will float on the left side. If you don't know about it, just keep it in mind that whenever you write this thing, it will turn down all the things into horizontal way. Let me show you. Even though like when we will be discussing this in detail, I'll tell you each and everything regarding that. But for now, we are just using this property. So you can see this is how it aligns. All 3 divs are aligned. Black div, red div and blue div. Now our next target is to apply the property, the margin property to this red div. Now if someone asks you what is margin inline property, so you can simply say that margin inline property is mainly used to add the margin on left and right side, that is known as, that is also popular with the term start or end. So if you are adding it in the left side, it is considered as start, and on right side it is considered as a end. Okay, but you might be thinking like same thing we can do with margin and margin left or margin right as well. Then why do we need it? Let me show you that. So for that, suppose you want, because our requirement is that we want to show it on a left side and right side. So one thing we can do here is margin 20 pixel 20 pixel, not like this. Firstly I'll put 20 pixels throughout. 20 pixel 20 pixel, save it, refresh it. So this is how it looks like. We will make 0 wherever it is required, not here. Let's save it, refresh it, not like this. Perfect. So here you can see we have just set. Similarly we will make 0 this one, not this one, this one, no. Perfect. So now you can see what we did here. We are using the term, we are using the margin shorthand property, and through that like we can easily able to do what we were planning to do. We have added the space, or you can say the margin on the left side as well as the right side. Then what's the issue with it? The issue is here, like if you try to write something in this box, let's say if I write this is sample text. Now due to some reason, if you want to change the writing mode for this div, in that case it will not change the margin direction. Let me show you that. So suppose if we change it to margin, not margin, writing direction, okay, writing mode, and we select the vertical LR. So in that case what will happen, you can see text is changed, the div direction is changed, but the left and right side margin is still same. So that's an issue. Okay, that's why we not prefer to go with this approach. Instead of that, we will use the margin inline property, because through that only we will be able to write this in an easier way. Let me show you how. So if you write here margin inline, only inline, okay, and we put 20 pixel. So in that case what it will do, you can see 20 pixel is here, 20 pixel is here, and why it is on top and bottom? Because we have changed the writing mode. In case if you remove the writing mode, still it will work perfectly. Okay, so that means after adding writing mode also it is showing the similar impact. That means left one will become top, because we are shifting it in a vertical left right mode, and right one will come at the bottom. So this is the advantage of inline. Now in case if you want to set different values, for example for left 20 pixel and for right 50 pixels, so you can set the value accordingly. Okay, similarly this is a shorthand property, so you can relate it with margin property. We have similar to margin, we have margin inline, but if you want to apply separately, so in that case you can use margin inline left and margin inline right. Let me show you how. You can go here, margin inline start, sorry, not left right, here we will use the term start and end. So for start I'm using 20 pixel, and similarly I can go for end, and in end I will use 20 pixels. So you can see this is how it works. In this case also, if we change the writing mode, it will work perfectly. The main reason is writing mode. You can see according to the text, the margin is also shifted. So this is the advantage of using inline property. So I hope this entire session is clear to all of you, and in the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.